Hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, welcome to the live broadcast. Welcome to the live Ask Me Anything. It is by the sundial on my wrist. It is Tuesday, the whatever, I don't even know, 2nd, 3rd of May, probably the 3rd of May, and it is 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and I'm here live every Tuesday morning for me, Tuesday morning, whatever time it is for you. And I'm here with my weekly Ask Me Anything. And the great news is questions come in throughout the week. I put those things into a document, and I always reply back to people who are asking me questions, letting them know that I will be live on Tuesdays, and I'm going to answer those questions because generally, if one person asks me a question, there's probably dozens more that have the same question. So why not put them all together right here on this Ask Me Anything? So you are, depending on where you're here, there's lots of different places you could be viewing me right now. Preferred channel is YouTube, but you could be seeing me live on Facebook and also live on LinkedIn right now. So you've got a couple of different ways to ask me questions. I've got them all open on my screen. You can ask a question in the chat on whatever platform you're watching on, or you could direct message that to me if you and I have some sort of a connection where we can be together on direct messenger. But asking them in the chat is going to give everyone else the opportunity to see those questions and to get those questions answered. So ask me anything at all about growing a business, starting a business, marketing your business, because that's what I've helped thousands of people do. And one of the questions that came in over the past week, since we were together last week at this time, was, what's the best way to grow a business? You know, there really is no best. There's no just best way that I can tell you to grow a business. But what I will tell you is this: if you were following any of the guidance that I give, the best way to grow a business is to continue. So we're going to assume that you already have a business and that you have clients and that you're getting people results. We have to presume if you're going to grow a business, you already have a business. Because the question is, what's the best way to grow a business, not the best way to start a business. That would be a completely different answer. The best way to grow a business is, first, you already have a business and you already have clients who are getting results. The first thing that I want you to do when you're looking to grow a business is to sit down and engage in honest self-reflection. So you've got to spend a couple of hours doing this, and you might want to like take yourself out of your normal work environment. You want to go somewhere where you can just relax and kind of let your thoughts flow, but you really want to engage in some honest self-reflection. And the question that you want to ask yourself is, what things am I doing that are getting people the biggest impact? And what things am I doing that maybe aren't getting the biggest impact? So you want to evaluate that. The Pareto principle, you might know it as the rule of 80-20, is going to come into play here, because 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your efforts. So when you're looking to grow a business, the clear direction that I want to give you is you have to start stripping away the things that aren't providing you with results, or aren't providing your clients with results, or aren't providing you with the clients that you wish to serve. So you need to explore the 20% of what you're doing that's having the biggest impact, not only on your business, on your revenue, but on the lives of others. Because when you're able to give people a transformation, when you're able to give people results, that's how you have the seeds for a business that can grow. So step number 1, honest self-reflection. Go to the beach, go to the woods, go to the park, go to the city, go have a coffee somewhere, and really just say to yourself, what are the core things that I'm doing that are providing people with the biggest results? And in turn, providing my business with the biggest results. Those are the things that you want to focus on when you're growing a business. Everything else, delete. Seriously, get rid of it. You don't need it. You don't need that 80% that's only contributing to 20% of your success. Let's do a little math here. If 20% of what you're doing is giving you 80% of your results, and you're able to strip away everything else, you have just liberated 80% of your time, your energy, your mental cycles. And now you have that time to focus and zoom in on the 20% that is giving you the 80% of your results. And what if you could take that 20% and double it? And now it's what in math terms is 40%. And you double the results. And now you have 160% of those results. Just imagine that. Imagine, let's put some dollar signs on this. This might help you. Let's put some dollar signs on this. Imagine that right now you're making $100,000 a year, and 20% of your efforts is creating 80% of those results. So 20% of what you do every single day is generating $80,000. And 80% of what you do is generating $20,000 in your $100,000 a year example. If you stripped away that 80% that's only generating $20,000, it might appear as though you're taking a $20,000 pay cut. But instead, what you're doing is you can now focus on the 20% that was generating the $80,000, and you've liberated 80% of your time that was only generating $20,000. So now you take that 20% and you double it. And if you do it right, your income goes from 80,000 with that small reduction to 160,000. And you can do that in 6 months. If for just about any business, as I think about the thousands of consultants and service providers that I've worked with, generally takes about 6 months to spin things up. And if you were to remove and liberate that time and focus and zoom in on that 20%, you could double that pretty readily. And you would find yourself moving to more money, more clients, more fulfillment, more happiness in your business, and more revenue as a result. Okay, so question is, what's the best way to grow a business? I think I started by saying there is no best way, but I'm going to tell you there is a best way. Honest self-reflection and zoom in on the 20% that's giving you the biggest impact, and literally delete everything else. If you have an array of services, tell those people goodbye and focus in on the 20% that is really giving you that high level of happiness and joy and peace and fulfillment and confidence in what you do. And then that's going to produce so much more results when you're able to focus in on it. Try to double it. You're still going to have more time in your day, and you're going to also have a nice little bump in your income, and you're going to grow your business that way. Hope that makes a lot of sense. Let's check in on the chats because we've got some people here live. So I'm just going to zoom on in. Lawrence is here. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Lawrence. You were actually the first one and giving me some chats before we even went live today. So glad that you're here. And then in addition to Lawrence, we've got Lauren from Conscious 7 who just finished her live, and she was doing Pilates. I hope I pronounced that right. Pilates. I think it's Pilates. She was doing some live Pilates for the people that she serves. And Lauren is a great example of someone who focuses in on the core of what gives people the biggest impact. So you'll see she's Conscious 7 in the YouTube chat right now. What I want you to do, click on that Conscious 7. I want you to go over to her channel and subscribe to that, because she's doing 10-minute Pilates sessions every single day for the past couple of days, Lauren. And it's that kind of thing that's going to open up everything in your world and is going to help you think more clearly. And we're here talking about business. So it's going to help you think more clearly in your business. Sally Smith checking in. Does your training oh, I did say it right. Okay, thanks so much. Sally asks, does your training program cover all social media channels? So, all right. So, this is an Ask Me Anything, and that's a question that was asked. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that. My training programs are specifically designed to use first principle thinking, first principle reasoning to market your business through any platform, whether it's social media, search, in person, through Zoom events, through workshops, through talks that you give. In my program, we specifically focus on the keys to being successful in all of those places. And I've designed my program in such a way so that you can take what you learn and apply it anywhere. So even though we focus in on, say, LinkedIn and Facebook through some of the training, you can take the things that you learn there and apply them everywhere. And people have been very successful in doing that. People have come out of my program and written best-selling books based on what they learned about how to create content for social media, or they have used the formulas and the frameworks that I have for creating content, and they've taken those and turned them into TED Talks, and they're on the TED stage giving those TED Talks. So the short answer is it covers all social platforms because I have a methodology and a process that allows you to take that and replicate it anywhere. In fact, there was somebody in my program last year, her name's Eunice, and she said, I just realized that I can take your methodology and I could apply it with pen and paper if I wanted to. And that's the beauty of what I teach, is that you can apply it anywhere with just a little bit of thought. So thank you, Sally, for that question. Grateful for that. Sandhya from Lotus Life Mastery, you'll see her in the chat. Love what you teach about focusing on the 20%. I'm so glad. There's Robin Thomas checking in, and it is great to see you here, Robin. So Sandhya from Lotus Life Mastery, I know that you help people unlock their magnificence in their work, in their lives, in their relationships. It's so great to see you here. I hope people will click on that when they're here watching it on YouTube. And Robin Thomas helps people with health. I'm just shouting out everybody that's here. Robin helps people with their health and wellness, and it's great to see you here as well, Robin. Robin does. I'm going to shout you out, Robin, because your videos are insanely captivating. So same thing with you, Sandhya from Lotus Life Mastery. And who can ignore how great Lauren's videos were as well for her Pilates. Okay, that's a lot of shout outs for the wonderful people that are here. Another question that came in is, how do you know when your business is ready to expand? So somebody messaged me with that question this week. How do you know when your business, you never know when your business is ready to expand. I'm going to say this to you. If you are sitting there in a position where you're thinking, oh, I think I'm ready to expand, I have bad news. You're too late. You waited too long. If you are sitting there and you're definitively, I'm going to move my keyboard because I'm like fidgeting around with it. I'm just going to move this in closer. So it's like we're having a little chat here. If you are sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I really feel like I'm ready to expand, you're too late. You waited too long. Business and business expansion and the successful growth of a business requires you to think, requires you to make decisions, and requires you to act rapidly. You can't sit around waiting for the path to be revealed to you. You have to take that step. Sandhya, you know what I'm talking about from Lotus Life Mastery. You know what I'm talking about. You have to take the step for the path to be revealed to you. And you can say that it's the universe, or you can say whatever it is that's making all of this work for you. But it's not until you take that first step that the path is revealed. So you can't, if you're looking to start a business, you can't be fully ready. You're never going to be fully ready. And if you feel like you're fully ready, then you've waited too long. You've missed the opportunities because you weren't able to make decisions and act quickly. And if that's a hard message for you to hear, that that's why you're here. You're not here for the little pat on, oh, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay if you wait and you keep waiting to make those decisions. You have to not be ready, and you have to move forward. Even though you're not ready, you must make decisions and act quickly to be successful in any kind of business where you're doing it for yourself. Hey, look, you're going to be a worker in a cube somewhere. That's very different. Other people are steering that ship. But when you're steering the ship, you've got to just steer. You've got to find the wind and steer. You can't wait until all the conditions are perfect. There's a great quote. I don't remember who said it, but they said if we wait until we're ready, it's going to be too late. And that's what's true about entrepreneurialism and being, having your own business and understanding if you want to grow. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready. You're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or making videos or promoting in some way or starting something new or cutting off that 80% that we talked about in the beginning. You're never going to be ready. You have just got to go. You've got to take that step. Rest assured, you take that step and the path will reveal itself to you. We're gonna get a little bit universe thinking for just a moment. So hang with me. If you're not a thinker, a universe thinker, maybe you will be in just a moment. But there is no direct path to that answer that you're looking for. There's no direct path to that endpoint. If you're talking about business growth, you can envision what business growth looks like. You can see how many more clients you have, how much more money you're generating, how many more lives you're impacting. You can see what that looks like in your life, but there's no one direct path to getting there. There is a array of paths. There is a field of infinite possibilities for you to get to that endpoint. And you won't understand what those are if you stand there waiting for the path to be revealed to you. That's the long way of saying you must make decisions and act quickly. Make the decision. Yeah, I'm going to grow. And now act on it. Take the first step. And if you don't know what the first step is, like here, like Sanja just said in the chat, start with a micro move. Just say it to someone, your spouse, your confidant, your kids. Just say to someone, hey, I think I'm going to grow this thing. Just that alone feels so good. Now, I will caution you. Here's what not to do. Don't go all over social media and start writing things like, ooh, big things coming or big decisions being made this week. Look, nobody cares about that. People want to see results. Don't waste people's time telling them about the big things that you have coming. Because if those big things don't happen because the array of infinite possibilities takes you on a new path, you look like an idiot. And you don't want to look like an idiot in front of the people who are your potential prospects and clients. You want to look like somebody who made things happen. So take your closest confidant, take your spouse, take your kids, take your best friend, your dog, take the ocean waves or the trees or the buildings, and say out loud, hey, I think I'm going to grow this thing. I think this is my time to grow this thing. And just say it out loud. That's the micro step that Sanja's talking about. You got to take that step, whatever it is. And it can't, you just say that out loud. That path, you've just took that first step on that path. That path is going to be opened up to you. And yes, when you grow a business, when you get higher levels of success, and when you impact more people, your people are going to fall away from you. There are people now, and I'm looking at all the feeds. There are people now who need to hear this message. Listen to me very carefully. You need to hear this. As you grow, there are going to be people around you who do not understand what you're trying to do. Those people, either through jealousy or envy, or they feel bad about themselves and they don't want people around them having success, those people are going to try to hold you back. And it might be time to say goodbye to those people. Now, look, there are people I can't say goodbye to my kids. And my kids, because they're little, right? I can't say goodbye to them. But I can say goodbye to any influence from anyone that might be negatively trying to impact my growth. It's not my kids. My kids love my business and they want me to grow. I'm just using that as an example. So the people you can't get rid of, you absolutely must block out with blinders, with earplugs, with close your eyes, with go and work somewhere else. You must block out the influence of people trying to hold you back. Because here's the hard message, my friends. Listen up. Not everyone's going to support you. Not everyone's going to understand when you want to grow. Not everyone's going to understand that drive. And the people who don't understand it and the people who don't have it, they want to hold you back because you present a threat to them. And the threat that you present, hard message time, the threat that you present when you're looking to grow is that you're leaving the pack. Whatever the pack is, the primal pack, you're leaving the pack. And by you leaving the pack and becoming more successful, you're saying, I'm right and you're wrong to the pack. And the pack wants to hold you back. And that pack just might be one person. So understand this. No one's coming to save you. And not everyone's going to want you to succeed. And if you can remove those people from your lives, goodbye. And it's something that I have done with the utmost in dedication over the years. As I grew, you remove the people from your life that are trying to hold you back. You see the signs. So you have to do that. And the people that don't, you've got to put the blinders on. You've got to realize that they have higher levels of inspiration in something else, and that might be in conflict with what your high inspirations are. Take a moment and take a breath and understand that their highest inspirations contribute to yours, and you need to find out what that is so that you don't go absolutely mental as you're trying to do this. Boy, who expected the talk to go in this direction today, right? Holy smoke, who expected that? But anyway, no one's coming to save you, and not everyone's going to support you. In fact, a lot of people are going to try to hold you back. And I know the names that are watching right now, and there are a couple people that I'm saying this directly to. You absolutely must break free to fulfill what it is you know you deserve and to impact the people you know you can impact. Okay. And I'm talking to you. You must do that. And some of you might be here in the replay and you're hearing that. And it's important to realize that in taking that first micro step, the pack is going to try to hold you back. But you are taking that step to an entirely new pack. Okay, I've talked about that for a long time. I am going to just take a breath from that because that's a hard message to hear. Let's go check in the chat. My question is, what's the best advice for getting back to growth when life events threw you back to startup? Just whew, almost swore. I almost swore, but I didn't. Just go. You listen, startup growth, it all works the same. Life events that threw you back, here's what I want you to remember. And it's Lawrence that asked this. A river only flows in one direction. You cannot turn a river around. Your life is that river and it's flowing in a direction. That stuff back there, those rocks, those trees, that bridge, they're gone. They're gone. It is time to put the past in the past and plug the energy leak that you have right now thinking about recent past events that threw you back. And it's time to go ahead and have one more conversation about those things with someone or with a tree or with your dog. Have one more conversation about it and then commit to never thinking about it and never talking about it again, because the river is flowing in one direction and all of that stuff is behind you. And by thinking about it and trying to get back to it, you're swimming upstream and it's not going to work. You're not going to get back there. And all of the energy that you're giving through thought to those past events that caused you to take that step back, they're holding you back. They're keeping you back. All of that energy should be used towards forward progress. So when you have that last conversation and then you say, I'm done thinking about this, giving energy to this, and I'm going to take all of that energy and I'm going to put it right back into startup mode. You've already done it before. Just do it again. Just do it again. You could take everything away from me today. You could take everything away from me. I'm not going to think about it tomorrow. And I'm going to start and I'm going to get there faster than I ever would have imagined. And you'll do the same thing because you're taking that energy that you're now giving to the past and you're applying it to your present and your future. Hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. Oh, Robin, thank you. That's so nice. Thank you for saying that. Robin says, my course changes the way we approach, the way we communicate with everyone. Thank you. Eileen Ryan, who is the queen of the career. Eileen Ryan from Getting Hired Rapidly says, surround yourself with people who have high inspiration that contribute to yours. Yeah, that's true. That is true. If you can find people who are inspired in the same direction you are, that's going to lift you and that's going to keep you going. Now, you might not always be able to do that. You might be married to someone who has a highest inspiration that is different than your highest inspiration. The way to leverage that is to ask yourself, how does their highest inspiration contribute to my highest inspiration? Instead of saying, oh, they always want this and I always want this. That's like butting heads. Instead, explore how what inspires them the most contributes to what inspires you the most. Okay? You can do that. You can look at the people who appear now on the surface to be causing strife or holding you back, and you can say, all right, I'm just going to take a moment and I'm going to explore how is their highest inspiration contributing to mine. Now here we're talking about business, right? I'm here to talk to you about business and growing your business and entrepreneurialism. So I'm going to presume that the people who are with me here today have the highest inspiration to grow their business. I certainly hope it's among your highest inspirations. But if you're with someone or married to someone or you hang out with someone who isn't like that and you can't remove them from your lives, because I certainly wouldn't want to remove, my relationship and my wife, because that's also a very important part of my life. But if they had a different highest inspiration than yours, just ask yourself, how does that contribute to my growth? And understand and realize that perhaps it does in ways that you don't see on the surface. And it's helping you more than you realize. And once you realize that, you can then embrace their highest inspiration. That creates better relationships with everyone around you. And when you have better relationships with everyone around you, your business is going to grow faster. All right. It's not woo woo, it's just the way the world works. Yeah. Well, listen, here's Cicely Simpson. I do hope you'll look her up. You'll see her in the YouTube chat right now. I hope you'll click on her and follow her. Cicely, I'm going to shout you out really quick. Cicely goes live on Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and her book just got released. And I know she's doing signings and things like that. Cicely came up with something called the CHAIR program, and each letter in the word CHAIR stands for something, and it's all about getting your voice heard in every aspect of your life, from your personal life to your business life to your relationships. It's all about bringing that chair to the table. So I want you to click on Cicely and look her up. And Eileen Ryan, you're here as well. And Eileen is the queen of the career. She helps people get hired rapidly. And I love that about what you do, Eileen. Wow, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I commit to 30 minutes. And yes, Cicely says it's all about changing lives, right, Chris? It really is. It really is. That's why we're here. And the people who have joined today, and I'm so grateful for all of you who are here on the socials and here on YouTube. I want you to realize that you have the ability to impact and change people's lives. I do want to try to answer one more question. Let's see if I can find it. I saw some other questions go through really fast. Let's see. I'm just going to go back through the chat. There was a lot of chat today. See if I can find it. Somebody asked a question. I'm trying to find it. I just saw it go through while I was talking. How do you broadcast live on YouTube? So that's actually really easy. You go into your YouTube channel and you go into YouTube Creator Studio, and there is a button in there to create new content, and it just says go live. And you just click that. You can use your webcam and your computer microphone. I happen to be using an external camera and external microphone, but you can use both. Good question. Somebody says, is this live available later on your YouTube channel? Absolutely. I record and keep all of the lives on the channel, so you can go and find those later if you need if you want to hear a good talking to again. So guys, we're coming up on the top of the hour, about 3 minutes left. If there are any last questions, pop them into the chat. Otherwise, I am going to head out and prepare for the rest of my day at noon. What was your biggest takeaway? For those of you who stuck with me through this, what was your biggest takeaway from our time together today? Drop that in the chat. I am super, super curious to know what you took away from this today. So you can drop that in the chat if you're here with me live. If you're watching this on the replay, now would be a great time to click that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications so that you get an alert every single time I create content like this for you. How do people get on your calendar? If you look at the chat, I have a pinned post at the very, very top of the chat with my calendar link. If you're interested in getting a customized strategy based on your unique characteristics and your unique needs, hop on my calendar and we can explore that together. And I can find the one thing that you should be doing right now to grow your business. Somebody says that their biggest takeaway was to start something when you're not ready. Thank you for that. A couple people chime in with focusing on the 20%. I really do think that's very important. And there's Chris Rivera, the master of goal setting and achievement. And he says, focus on the 20%. What a great time to be focusing on that 20%. We're into May. We're almost halfway through Q2, which means we're coming up to the midpoint in the year. There's never been a better time to engage in that honest self-reflection and zoom in on that 20% so that this is the year you get done what you said you were going to get done. And the only way to do that is with focus and relying on the fact that no one is coming to save you, and it is up to you to get it done. I'm just going to say thank you one last time for everybody that joined me here today. Before we end this thing I'll do it at the very top of the hour. So I will be back here next Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and I will have more questions to answer. I would invite you to come on back and spend that time with me as well. All right, friends, Thank you so very much for being here with me today. I'm going to end the stream. I will see you guys next week. Take care.